guys, this is Lauren with Element Productions. Hope everyone's been well. I picked up a new lens that I just happened to come across on Amazon. Was in the market for Sony's 85mm f1.8, the new one they just released, and it's hard to drop $800 on another 85 when I have so many that already work correctly. So I picked up this bad boy. It's a Yongnuo 100mm f2 lens, a whopping 160 bucks. So man, $160, why not? Why not go and try it? With Amazon, you don't like it, you send it back. That's the way I always say it. So I want to show you a quick unboxing here. We can go and check it out. Alright, so right here is the lens. This right here is a 100% Canon knockoff. You look at this compared to the Canon. I used to have one. Man, it looks almost identical. The only thing I can see different is the little rope design at the top is white instead of being yellow. I think that's the only difference, and that's probably how they get away with it, I guess. It's got the manual focus that feels almost just like Canon's. It's got the same amount of turn to it. It's got the little feet meter, your focusing meter, I guess is what you call it. It's got that at the top. It's got the little autofocus, manual focus switch on the side. This right here is a Canon lens with a different name on it. They really designed it very well. I'm going to post up some pictures now just so you can see some of the images that I did capture. Now do keep in mind that I'm primarily a Sony shooter, so I don't really take this on my Canon very often. I have a Canon 70D that's had some issues, so I can't trust that in the field really. On the Canon system, the autofocus is quite loud. It goes zzz, 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 sounds like a bumblebee. So using that in autofocus in video mode, nope, not going to happen. It's not near quick enough. And honestly, at 100, you're really not going to be using the autofocus anyway. It's better to put that in manual focus. This is great for like an interview setting. If you've got your straight on cam and then you've got another cam, your B cam is close up at their face. 100mm, absolutely perfect for that. And that's what I've found myself to use it for. As far as film situations, very few times that you would ever need a short telephoto. Honestly, on a full frame, 100mm, that's okay. If you're putting it on a crop sensor, then you're looking at it closer to 150, 160 millimeters, especially with the Canon crop bodies. So it makes it really, really tight. That's a little too tight for me. But the few scenes that I've shot with it have turned out really, really nice. Just mounting this up on your system to a follow focus, and just slightly moving it. It seems to work really, really well for that. So I think it has its use in certain situations. If you're a photographer, you probably would rather have the quicker autofocus. So I'd probably say, yeah, I want to steer you towards the Canon model. But if you're like me, you're adapting this to a Sony body. I've used it on both my 6300 and my Sony a7S II, and I've had no issues with manual focus, and the shots turning out great. Now, one issue I did see with using an adapter, and I've got two different adapters here. One, I've got a Viltrox, just standard generic $80 smart adapter, if you want to call it that, and then I've got another one that's actual speed booster and a focal reducer that I'll use on my 6300. One thing I did notice is that if you have it in autofocus mode whenever you first turn it on and then flip it over to manual focus, you'll get your focus peaking back. For some reason, whenever you have this in manual focus and you turn on the camera, your camera reads it as being an autofocus, and whenever you actually go to take a picture or to try to focus with your shutter, you'll hear it whirring even though it's in manual focus mode. So I think I don't know if there's a hack around that or what. The only way I've found to make it work is to put it in autofocus first, drop it into manual focus, then you get your focus peeking back. Then you can line up your shot, shoot it, you don't have any issues. As far as image quality, and it's turned out way better than even I expected. I've tried out their 50mm, their 35. I haven't shot with their 85, so I can't attest to that. But this 100mm is great just to, like I said, it's a one-time shoot out of a 15-minute short film. This would be the one day, hey, I need that angle, and I don't have it with an 85. I mean, it's all depth of field, and you're going from there. So my final prediction, would I suggest buying this lens for 160 bucks? I really don't think you can go wrong. I know there are other lenses that are so much cheaper, but this is built very, very sturdy. If you look at the specs on Canon's website versus this one, they almost weigh exactly the same focusing distance. There is very little difference. The elements inside, your aperture blades, it's a direct copy of Canon. So if you can find these on Amazon or eBay, wherever you look, I found the cheapest price to be on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below, that way you can go and check it out. But they're always in very short supply. I just happened to see it was available and bought it. It was the last one they had. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed the review. Final thoughts, 100mm, f2, 160 bucks. I think it's a steal, absolute steal. Build quality is great, image quality is great, manual focus works. That's all I needed for it. If you guys like this video, hit that like button. Comment if you want to buy this lens, you've already bought it, if you had some questions about it, or you just had some general comments about what you think about it, what Yongnuo is doing. You know, just basically taking Canon lenses, dropping the price on them, and making it more accessible to everybody. I think it's one of those, come on, get me in focus, jeez. Wait for it to focus, wait for it to focus. It's almost paying $1 a millimeter, $1.60 a millimeter if you look at it that way.